Hey y'all, I'm Chris Kennedy. I'm one of the project coordinators here with the Healthy Soils, Healthy Trees program. This is a project that is funded by the Urban Forestry Grant in the city of Austin. And it's a partnership between Central Texas Mycological Society and Ecology Action of Texas. The project's focus is to understand the relationship between fungi and trees here in Central Texas. So we're launching a community science experiment here in Roy Guerrero Park. This is in southeast Austin, right next to Circle Acres Nature Preserve. And the goal is to really experiment with two different kinds of treatments using fungi with native trees. We're applying a saprophytic decomposer mushroom mulch mixture that's coming from our mushroom block recycling program. And we mix that together, let it sit for a few weeks, and we're applying that to the base of the trees here in the park. And then we're also trying a mycorrhizal treatment. So it's an inoculum that we have from Wild Roots Organics. And we're mixing that with some water and applying that to the roots to help stimulate fungal growth in the roots zone. And we're going to be trying three different kinds of strategies, applying some with the mulch, some without the mulch, some with just the inoculum, and then we'll have a few controls. We've got Mexican buckeyes going in, live oaks, and Eve's necklace here in the park. So 54 total that we've planted so far in 2022, and we hope to plant some more in the Metropolis neighborhood next year.
I'm Andie Marsh, and I'm a soil restoration practitioner who's helping with this project by designing the field study in a way that really speaks to the community that we're trying to impact here. So what I considered before designing this experiment is what are some practical ways that homeowners, gardeners, landscapers, the city of Austin could start improving the impact of their tree plantings and resulting in healthier trees from the ground up. So in designing this experiment, we identified the treatments by keeping in mind what are some simple and inexpensive ways that we can improve the health of our trees from the day we plant them. And one treatment, for example, came about just in reusing a waste stream that we have access to through the Central Texas Mycological Society, and that's of the mushroom blocks. So that is really important because in my work, I've found that disturbed ecosystems tend to have very bacterial dominant soils and not enough fungi. They're very deficient in fungi. And so anything we can do to introduce fungal biomass into the root zone, we anticipate is going to have a positive effect on the health of the trees. And so that's what we're evaluating with this study.
So this is an example of one of the treatments that we worked on today. This is a beautiful live oak that we got from a local nursery. And this particular tree has been treated just with a mixture of the spawn, the mushroom blocks that have been broken up with the mulch. And so you can sort of see the mycelium even kind of forming on the surface here. And so we've worked with this plus also inoculum and some of the other trees, but just as this gotten the spawn and mulch treatments. So what do you think is happening here, Andie, in terms of the microbial life and things, hopefully?
Yeah, so part of what we did today in terms of planting these trees is step one, we all dug a hole for every single tree. And this is just one treatment. And I planted them, and some got an inoculum down in the root zone. This one did not. This one just got a treatment of the mulch that had the spawn in it. So there's likely a lot of fungal biomass that's in the mulch. And we're going to see over time whether or not that biomass carries into the soil profile and what kind of effect it has on the overall tree health. So throughout the scope of this project, this is a long-term study where we're trying to evaluate not only the physical attributes of the trees over time to indicate their health, but we're also going to take a look below ground. And the way we're going to do that is I'll come and take soil samples and look at those samples under the microscope. So that's one thing in my restoration practice that's really important, is physically being able to observe what's living in our soils and knowing whether or not we're making an impact on the biodiversity below ground. So we're sampling some trees today, and we're going to send the soil off to the lab and find out what the organic matter content is. Right here is the control, so you'll see there's no mulch or anything that's been added. So we're going to see what the organic matter is today and then throughout time, and see if it changes between the control and the other trees that have had things like mulch or mulch with spawn or some kind of inoculant added to the soil.
Well, I hope you can join us. The Healthy Soils, Healthy Trees program will be going on for the next year or so. We encourage you to check out our website, sign up for the newsletter, and come over to Circle Acres or Warrior Park and come see the trees that now have all these fungal partners and help us myceliate Austin's urban forest.